Hi, I'm glad to see you back again. If you find this content helpful, engaging, or insightful, please subscribe, comment, share, and like. Today's video topic is recovering the internal self. For an empath, external noise is more than just a distraction. It is a significant source of emotional drain. Because empaths possess a high degree of sensory processing sensitivity, they don't just see or hear the world. They absorb it. This noise is a constant, uncurated stream of emotional and energetic data that pours into an empath's field, often without their consent. Let's look at how this manifests in everyday life. In public spaces like a crowded grocery store or a busy office, an empath doesn't just see people. They feel the emotional echo. You might hear the unspoken tension between a couple in aisle 4, the hidden anxiety of the cashier, or the frantic deadline stress of a colleague 3 desks away. It feels like being in a room where 20 different radios are playing 20 different stations at once. Even if you aren't consciously listening, your nervous system is working overtime to process all that conflicting emotional data. Digital congestion is another intense form of noise. The 24-hour news cycle, social media outrage loops, and a flooded inbox create a unique kind of whiplash for the empathic heart. Scrolling through a feed where you jump from a tragedy to a joke and then to a friend's crisis forces your spirit to feel every single post. By 10 a.m., you can find yourself hollowing out from compassion fatigue. Empaths are highly attuned to the gap between what people say and what they feel. If a friend says, "I'm fine," but their energy vibrates with resentment or sadness, the empath hears a vibration, not the words. This creates a confusing internal dissonance. Navigating someone else's shadow while trying to maintain a normal conversation leads to a type of internal chaos. Ignoring the unspoken in conversation is draining and can alter how you view that person, whether they are being manipulative or are simply reluctant to share a difficult truth. Common sights and sounds that others ignore become sharp for an empath. Fluorescent lighting, the hum of a refrigerator, or the clutter of a messy room aren't just annoyances. They feel like physical prods to the empath's energy field, making it impossible to find a baseline of calm. This is environmental overstimulation. Then there is the pressure of expectations. Society's programmed scripts, the shoulds about marriage, social lives, and career promotions, create a constant low-frequency hum. For an empath, these aren't just ideas. They feel like external weights. It's a persistent feeling of being wrong because you sense a collective pressure of society's definition of success. Some people, often called energy vampires, subconsciously noise dump their problems onto empaths, knowing they will listen and hold the space. This often looks like a one-sided phone call where you hang up feeling exhausted while the other person feels great. You have essentially cleared their noise by taking it into your own system. While usually unintentional, it is a parasitic energy exchange. It is vital to understand that for an empath, silence is a nutrient. It isn't just the absence of noise. It is the presence of your own energy. When you return home to yourself, you are turning off those external radios so you can finally hear your own heartbeat. This return to the self isn't just discovery, it's recovery. By viewing your sensitivity as a sacred garden rather than a vulnerability, you transform introspection into high-level self-protection. You move from being exposed to the world to being enveloped by your own richness. Chasing external love often leaves our own soil untended and dry. The soul flourishes when you return home, discovering the wealth within that has been waiting for your attention. We often drown in the borrowed desires of others. Finding your unfiltered perspective and hearing your own voice, separate from the crowd, is a hard-won luxury of emotional autonomy. When our peace depends on others, our energy is never our own. To counter this, you must become your own safe harbor. This inner work involves developing a resilient core that stays calm regardless of external storms. We often spend our lives time traveling, rehearsing the future, or mourning the past. In doing so, we neglect the high-definition beauty of the now. Grounding yourself in the sensory safety of the present moment quiets the overwhelm. Remember, chasing validation drains the energy needed for unique expression. Listen to the whispers of your own dreams. Turn your deep sensitivity into a creative superpower rather than an emotional drain. This is the quiet sovereignty of solitude. Society views being alone as a void, but treating your own company as a sacred recovery space is where you are fully cared for. You are transforming loneliness into a peaceful solitude. Modern distractions can sever our link to our roots. Reconnect with the intuitive hum of those who came before you. Recognize that you are never truly alone. You are held by the resilience of your lineage. You are not a seeker of love. You are its primary source. As you tend to your internal garden with gentleness, you realize your inner riches are infinite. You have finally arrived. Protect this peace by setting soul boundaries. Practice discerning my energy versus their energy. Give yourself permission to retreat. Solitude is maintenance, not abandonment. Use the power of no as an act of self-devotion. Stop being a sponge of the world's noise and become a vessel for your own light. You are the gatekeeper of your own peace. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe.